Good evening and welcome to another season of Friday Night Lights brought to you by Isabella Bank. This is our F&L Pigskin Preview Parade of Champions show. Try to say that 5 times fast. I'm Scott Johnson. This, of course, is Jason Fielder.
Hi, Scott. We will have full highlight shows for you Thursday and Friday this week. And you know what? It's extra special, too, this season. Scott and I celebrating a very special milestone this year. Yeah, all season long, we will be celebrating our 200th show together during Friday Night Lights. This is season 17 for us. At the end of the show tonight, we will be talking a little bit more about it and then all the great memories, just some of them that we've had over the years, because we could probably fill up a half hour talking about all the games and players that we've seen.
Oh, there's no question about that. It's a show on its own. There's no doubt about that. But for now, it's time to unveil our Pigskin Preview Parade of Champions. We'll be featuring 16 champions from last season.
And let's get started with the champs from the Saginaw Valley League. After going a school record 12-1 last season, winning the SVL Red Division and reaching the state semifinals, Grand Blanc will have a new head coach. That's former Davison and SVSU star Caleb Four, taking over for Clint Alexander, who left for a gig in West Virginia. Four says their offense won't change much from the previous regime, but there will be an extra emphasis on toughness.
It's going to come down to physicality. You know, this game is about blocking and tackling at the end of the day, and we want to do a great job of blocking and running with power and also creating big plays down the field. So, you know, we were fortunate enough to have a lot of big playmakers come back this year.
Grand Blanc's season opener is against Granville next on this upcoming Friday.
Mount Pleasant last year had a stellar undefeated season, unfortunately led to a short playoff exit. After winning 10 straight, the Oilers fell to DeWitt in the second round of the playoffs. DeWitt would go all the way to win the Division III state title. This year for Mount Pleasant, the goal is to find that balance between returning leadership and the new incoming players to build a strong foundation to hopefully win another championship. Head coach Jason McIntyre says the tradition of Oiler football is what the team hopes to strive for this season.
Well, there's always a lot of expectations around here. You know, we've built a fairly good tradition over the last 15, 16 years. And so, you know, there's a lot of expectations. And the guys wear that with a lot of honor and a lot of pride every year. And so we're getting ready like we always do. There's always holes to fill. And there's always guys come back who are leaders. And it's kind of just figuring out how to mix those two things together and put a team together.
The Oilers will start the season at home on Friday against Kalamazoo Central.
Frankenmuth has won 10 straight Tri-Valley Conference championships. They've reached at least the state semifinal round in 4 of the last 6 seasons. They return about a half dozen starters on each side of the ball. They believe their speed will be their calling card this year, and they have their sights set on finally breaking through to bring home a state championship.
You know, ever since we've been 5th graders playing youth together, that was our main goal. To win a state championship. Come up short a couple of these past years, but you know, that's the main goal this year, is to win football games and win a state championship.
These groups have been together from youth football all the way to today, and you know, we're trying to have an extension of what they've done from Pee Wee football to today. You know, every year get better, every year keep working on reaching those goals. And you know, we don't really necessarily talk about a state championship. Yeah, it's one of our goals. Our league is one of our goals, but again, winning every day is the biggest goal.
Frankenmuth kicks off its season at home against Goodrich.
That's going to be a big one tomorrow. The Millington Cardinals' new head coach is one that fans and players will recognize. Jason Germain has moved from offensive coordinator and has replaced Lenny Dantine, who happens to be the new high school principal. Dantine is still on the staff as the defensive coordinator. Last season, Millington went 10-1 and led the Tri-Valley Conference before falling to Lansing Catholic, who would end up winning the Division VI title.
You know, it's kind of cliche to say, but you are as good as your seniors. And we have 13 seniors out here, and they're doing a great job of leading. They're setting the tone every day in practice.
It's definitely a grind, but just learning the plays is the biggest thing right now. Getting the plays down, make sure everyone knows what they're doing, and then it's going to start coming together once the season starts.
That's what a big part of us was last year. We were so close, bonded wise. There wasn't nothing stopping us. If we get a good bond, keep working out here, we'll get there for sure.
Millington opens the season at home against Detroit Southeastern on Thursday.
Ithaca, the defending champs of the Tri-Valley West 2 division. The Yellow Jackets went undefeated in division play and finished 6-4 overall last year, falling in the opening round of the playoffs to eventual D7 champion Pewamo Westphalia. The Jackets have a brand new field this fall with plans to make their stadium an even bigger memorial to military veterans and first responders. We will tell you more about that later in the show. Gladwin Flying G's are the defending champs of the Jack Pine Conference. Gladwin coming off their best season in over 2 decades, going 9-1, posting 6 shutouts. Flying G's will return 8 starters on both sides of the ball, and they are looking to raise the bar of their program.
I think the strength of our team is kind of twofold. Obviously with our defense returning a large number of players and having 6 shutouts last year, that's definitely a strength of our team. And then just the fact that our team overall is constructed of a bunch of 3-year players, and a couple 4-year players on varsity. When this senior class was, sophomores, we brought a lot of them up. And so there's just a ton of game experience that we're hoping, that they can kind of lean on through times of adversity in the season. And that could be a positive strength for us.
Gladwin opens up the season Friday on the road against Chippewa Hills.
Well, the Beale City Aggies are coming off an epic season where they fell a few plays short of winning the Division VIII state championship. Beale City won the Highland Conference and finished 12-2. The Aggies lost a good chunk of players from last year's team to graduation. They'll return only 4 starters on offense and defense, but the long playoff run gave them 5 extra weeks of practice and a desire to finish what they started.
All those kids, I think, definitely have that hunger to try to get back. These kids know it's not just going to, it just doesn't happen. So luckily we're fortunate that we have a bunch of kids that like to work hard as well. But in the same time, the biggest thing you get out of that is you get, we had 5 extra weeks of practice. That makes a huge difference when you go as long as you do and you get them younger guys to get that extra practice time.
Week 1, Beale City travels to the Arena on Friday night.
Hubley Bearcats have reached at least the Division VIII state semifinal round in each of the last 3 years, falling in the championship game in 2020. Last season, Hubley won the Greater Thumb East and finished 12-1. The Bearcats are loaded for another deep run, returning 8 starters on offense and defense. Head coach Eric Sweeney says he is proud of the work his players put in over the summer to try and get stronger.
Actually, we had great participation this summer. We have right now in our high school, we have 37 kids out, 21 varsity, 16 JV. We averaged 25 kids per workout during the summer. Kids worked really hard, got a lot stronger. That's key to to us is we're not going to be more athletic than anybody. Our goal is to outwork other teams.
Hubley opens up against Bad Axe on Friday.
And it was a 3-way tie for the Greater Thumb West title between Laker, Reese, and Bad Axe, all 3 with 5-1 conference records. Laker went the deepest in the playoffs, avenging a loss to Reese in the opening round before bowing out to Pewamo, Westphalia in the regional final. Laker finished with an overall mark of 9-3. And there is a big game right out of the gate in the Thumb as Hubley and Bad Axe will go head-to-head on Friday in Bad Axe.
Yeah, and coming up tonight, we will take a look at the champs from the Mid-Mac, the GAC, and the Flint Metro League. But first, here's the Beale City cheer team.
Isabella Bank has locations across mid-Michigan to serve all your banking needs. But our most convenient location is right in your pocket, online or in the app. Bank local, bank anywhere. Isabella Bank.
Hi, I'm Lisa Rechsteiner.
And I'm Ben Reeder.
From Graff Chevrolet on Wilder Road in Bay City.
Reserve your new vehicle online today
at graffbaycity.com.
We are Graff Chevrolet,
your auto dealer in the Great Lakes Bay.
Hi, Steve, Dr. Jones. I'm calling about your MRI results.
Darn sports injury.
Didn't you fall off the sofa?
Yeah, but I tweaked an old football injury.
Old football injury?
Anterior something. Let me conference in past Steve. He'll remember.
That's a little too far back. Foreign object ingestion. I hear that.
So what's the verdict on the MRI?
Just a sprain.
Any advice? Yeah, cut out the beer and pretzels.
Who's that?
Future me. He hates fun.
Hurley Medical Center. Here for you. For life.
Hi, I'm Lisa Rechsteiner from Graff Chevrolet on Wilder Road in Bay City.
We are your lease trade-in specialists.
Don't turn your lease in, trade it in at Graff Chevrolet in Bay City.
Graff Chevrolet,
your auto dealer in the Great Lakes Bay.
The sun at your back, the wind in your hair, the waves gently crashing on the beach. the perfect time to do a little banking, online or in the app. Bank local, bank anywhere. Isabella Bank.
Welcome back to the Champions Preview Friday Night Lights special brought to you by Isabella Bank. And Scott, we have a new addition to our FNL team this year, don't we?
That's right. Yes, everybody, put your hands together and welcome the one, the only Austin Sumowitz, better known as the Davison Destroyer, brother.
Davison Destroyer. All right. We're going to see if that nickname sticks, but thank you guys. I am super excited to be part of Friday Night Lights this year. And right now we've still got a lot of teams to get to. We'll start things off with the Mid-Michigan League and a team who, despite doing well against their league opponents last year, they're looking for some huge improvements this year. Now, after winning the state championship in 2020, the new Lothrop Hornets last season finished with their worst record in the last 12 years, finishing at 7-4. The Hornets were knocked out of the playoffs by Pewaukee, Westphalia, and Coach Galvis says his team is only focused on each and every day and not what happened last season or their championship year the year before. Now, they're looking to set the tone early with their senior leadership and teamwork.
For these seniors is really just setting the example, and they're doing that a lot. By the way they're practicing and the intensity they're bringing each and every practice. Even just the stuff in the locker room, getting the guys up in the weight room, these younger guys, coaching them on the side. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of that, guys just helping, younger teammates on different things. And that's huge. I mean, it's, again, we don't have the biggest coaching staff in the world here either. And so, these guys coaching each other is a big deal. And that's what I'm seeing so far from these seniors. And, like I said, we got a lot of leadership, so expecting big things.
And Lothrop will open the season at home against Lumen Christi Catholic on Thursday. The Hamity Hawks were a bit slow to come out of the gates last year, but once they got going, they were a tough team to face. Hamity was 5-0 in the Genesee League and ended with 2021 with a 6-3 record. Now for Hamity this year, they have a ton of players returning from last season. 35 players from last year are back, and they're looking to improve even more from the previous season. Now for those guys coming back, they've been itching for this season to start since last year's season ended.
We really all been really looking forward to the first game since last year's season ended because we didn't go to the playoffs, so we all just looking forward to next season. We all just ready for it. So we've been preparing way before everybody else. So we all just ready for the game to come. So we all pumped, excited. We all working hard. Just can't wait for it.
They understand what it takes to win. They understand how tough playing varsity football is. So I think that's going to be a big plus for us.
The Hawks open the season on Thursday on the road against Lansing Eastern. The Lake Fenton Blue Devils have some huge holes to fill this year, especially with how great the team did last year. After their 10-2 season last year ended with a second-round playoff exit, Lake Fenton will have a new quarterback under center for the first time in 4 years. Now, despite this huge change, this year Lake Fenton has more returning players than graduates from last season. The Blue Devils are coming off of their most successful season in the past 15 years. Head coach Marty Borski said now is the time to strike while the iron is hot.
Last year showed us the path, how it can be accomplished. We have different guys, and we're not necessarily going to run all the same plays, but the pathway, the grind, embracing the process, the family atmosphere, the leadership, that's going to get us where we want to go. And yeah, we want to take that next step this year. We want a district championship. We want to be in the league championship game again, but it's not going to happen because of last year. We have to earn it all over again.
For Lake Fenton, the path starts with a Blue Devils versus Blue Devils match against Gaylord on Friday.
All right, in 8-player football, Augray Sims is the reigning champion of the North Star League. Augray went 11-1 last season, falling in the Division II state semifinal. The team is only returning 3 starters on offense and defense, but head coach Brian Sanchez says their top playmaker is back and will be counted on to help carry the load.
The offense I'm not overly concerned about. We have Keegan Bender. In 8-man football, everybody knew who Keegan was. Keegan is not an easy person to take down. As far as the offensive line goes, we only need you to block for a half a second because once he gets back, once he gets past that block, he's hard to take down.
Augray kicks off its season on Friday against Atlanta.
Augray ended Kindy North Huron's season in a regional championship game last year, 48-42. Kindy, the defending winners of the very tough Stripes division in the North Central Thumb League. Last season, they tied a school record, notching 10 victories. This season, head coach Chad Knobloch believes they'll be able to lean on the fellas up front.
We're going to be very tough to stop, running the ball. I think
especially between the tackles. I think we're going to be, we've got some really big, strong, fast boys that have put a ton of time into the weight room and conditioning during the entire off season. We have good size up front, and I think that's going to be a huge part of our success.
North Huron opens up the season against K-Pac on Friday.
Breckenridge, which won the Mid-State Athletic Conference in 11-player football last season, has now moved to the 8-player game. Central Michigan Football Conference this season. The Huskies going 9-3 last year, where they lost to Ubley in the regional final. Breckenridge has been on a roll, making the playoffs in the last 6 seasons. Here's first-year head coach Isaac Gregory on how the transition to 8-man ball has been going for his program.
It's been an adventure. It's been every day's a learning curve, not just for the kids, but it's for coaches too. We're learning from the guys around us. We had Gaylord St. Mary's come down for a scrimmage. We learned a lot from them. Coach O'Connell was great to us from up there. And with the league we're coming into, it's tough. There's no weak teams in our division this year. So it's definitely been an adventure trying to get ready for that.
Game 1 for Breckenridge will be against Fulton Middleton coming up on Friday.
Also joining the Central Michigan Football Conference is Morris. The Orioles last season went undefeated in conference play, winning the North Central Thumb League Stars Division. Morris lost in the regional finals to Colon, who reached the 8-player title game. Merrill and Mount Pleasant Sacred Heart are also in the Central Michigan 8-player football conference.
And one of the things, Jason, that's been kind of unusual during our time here at TV5 has been the growth of the 8-player game.
Yeah, I think, with dwindling class sizes in smaller schools, dwindling rosters, more sports to play, it's a necessity, as coaches will tell you, because they like to have the younger guys, freshmen, sophomore, actually have a JV team and not be thrown into varsity, thrown to the wolves, and maybe not see the field very much. So with 8-player football, less players on the field, gives them a chance to have a better program overall. It is a fun game to watch.
All right, there's no question about that. And, of course, Breckenridge moving down from 11 to 8. Going to be very interesting to see how the Huskies do this year. And when we come back, Ithaca is taking their stadium to a new level with a major renovation this summer. That is straight ahead on the FNL Pigskin Preview Show. But first, here are the Freeland Falcons doing a little bit of celebrating last season.
21-8 Wilkinson. Yes, sir, Coach.
Isabella Bank has locations across mid-Michigan to serve all your banking needs. But our most convenient location is right in your pocket, online or in the app. Bank local, bank anywhere. Isabella Bank.
At TV5 News, our goal is to bring you a better perspective. And we are doing just that with our TV5 News drone. A better view, all the angles, the whole picture. From breaking news to incredible views, we're bringing you a better perspective with the TV5 News drone, showing you the whole story as it unfolds. We are WNEM TV5 News, with coverage you can count on.
Hi, I'm Lisa Rechsteiner.
And I'm Ben Reeder.
From Graff Chevrolet on Wilder Road in Bay City.
Reserve your new vehicle online today
at graffbaycity.com.
We are Graff Chevrolet,
your auto dealer in the Great Lakes Bay.
Hi, Steve, Dr. Jones. I'm calling about your MRI results.
Darn sports injury.
Didn't you fall off the sofa?
Yeah, but I tweaked an old football injury.
Old football injury?
Anterior something. Let me conference in past Steve. He'll remember.
That's a little too far back. Foreign object ingestion. I hear that.
So what's the verdict on the MRI?
Just a sprain.
Any advice? Yeah, cut out the beer and pretzels.
Who's that?
Future me. He hates fun.
Hurley Medical Center. Here for you for life.
Hi, I'm Lisa Rechsteiner from Graff Chevrolet on Wilder Road in Bay City.
We are your lease trade-in specialists.
Don't turn your lease in, trade it in at Graff Chevrolet in Bay City.
Graff Chevrolet,
your auto dealer in the Great Lakes Bay.
The sun at your back, the wind in your hair, the waves gently crashing on the beach. The perfect time to do a little banking, online or in the app. Bank local, bank anywhere. Isabella Bank.
Hey, one thing I want to say, do not play for yourself, play for another guy wearing this all gray jersey right now. All right, one team, one mission, let's go. One team! One mission! One team! One mission! One team! One mission!
If that doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what's going to get you fired up. And, of course, welcome back to Friday Night Lights, brought to you by Isabella Bank. And, Jason, Ithaca has a brand new field.
They do, and you know, there are grand plans in the works to make that stadium a huge memorial tribute to military veterans and first responders. This story you're going to see is a TV5 exclusive.
Over the last dozen years or so, Ithaca's football program has been one of the most dominant in the state of Michigan, with 7 Division VI championship game appearances and 5 state titles. This summer, thanks to the generosity of an anonymous donor, the program now has a new state-of-the-art artificial field turf.
Last year we had muddy games, so this summer there'd be holes and stuff in the field, and with a new surface like this, we don't have to worry about that at all.
Ithaca's original grass field was installed in 1975 with only minor upgrades over the last few decades. Head football coach Jordan Hesbrook tells me the school was long overdue for new turf, with heavy rain sometimes making the field so unplayable that the team had to reschedule home games and play them at off-site locations.
If you go through the years, you can see a lot of our games that have been really a safety concern because of the playing conditions. You know, that's a loss of our home field advantage, plus a loss of our concession stands, a loss of our gate, you know, and then plus paying to move our game to another facility, that rental fee.
New field turf is only part of the grand plan for this facility. It is going to become an immense patriotic tribute honoring those who served and made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom.
The donor, who wants to stay anonymous, tells me that by next fall, there will be large monuments and plaques built around the field to honor Michigan's 22,000 Gold Star veterans and first responders who gave their lives in freedom conflicts since 1900. The donor tells me there will also be veteran memorial scholarships for each of the 6 public high schools in Gratiot County, and that this entire patriotic remembrance project is being done not just for Ithaca, but for the county and the entire state of Michigan. And the players say they are 100% behind it.
I thought it was a really cool thing to do because, you know, the military has done so much for us, and our veterans are just, you know, so important to us. And I think we had done some military things before, you know, just small tribute nights or whatever, but now it's just always here, and it's just a cool thing to have.
The season opener for Ithaca on their new field turf will be August 26th against Homer.
Yeah, the military tribute stadium will really be something to see when it's finished, and the plan is to actually have it done by next season.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. There's no question about that. And coming up, we'll talk about our favorite memories from over the years as Jason and I celebrate our 200th show together this season. And we'll take a look back at some of the sweetest plays from last year. But first, here's the Ubly fans doing a little bit of celebrating.
Recksteiner.
And I'm Ben Reeder.
From Graf Chevrolet on Wilder Road in Bay City.
Reserve your new vehicle online today
at grafbaycity.com.
We are Graf Chevrolet,
your auto dealer in the Great Lakes Bay.
Hi, Steve, Dr. Jones. I'm calling about your MRI results.
Darn sports injury.
Didn't you fall off the sofa?
Yeah, but I tweaked an old football injury.
Old football injury?
Anterior something. Let me conference in past Steve. He'll remember.
That's a little too far back. Foreign object ingestion. I hear that.
So what's the verdict on the MRI?
Just a sprain.
Any advice? Yeah, cut out the beer and pretzels.
Who's that?
Future me. He hates fun.
Hurley Medical Center. Here for you for life.
Isabella Bank has locations across mid-Michigan to serve all your banking needs. But our most convenient location is right in your pocket, online or in the app. Bank local, bank anywhere. Isabella Bank.
Hi, I'm Lisa Recksteiner from Graf Chevrolet on Wilder Road in Bay City.
We are your lease trade-in specialists.
Don't turn your lease in, trade it in at Graf Chevrolet in Bay City.
Graf Chevrolet,
your auto dealer in the Great Lakes Bay.
The sun at your back, the wind in your hair, the waves gently crashing on the beach. The perfect time to do a little banking, online or in the app. Bank local, bank anywhere. Isabella Bank.
The Lions travel to Pittsburgh, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on TV5.
You may still have the winner. Lay down in his hand. Don't miss your chance to buy it.
is coming to strike.
And welcome back to Friday Night Lights, brought to you by Isabella Bank. And yes, Jason and I are celebrating our 200th Friday Night Lights show together this season. And it seems like it has gone by very fast, to be quite honest with you.
When you look back, too, those guys that, when we first started this is season 17, a lot of those guys are married with kids now.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy to think about,
And I got a few years on you because I've been doing this a while, obviously. I kind of figured on my own, throughout the years and whether I think I'm close to like 450 or something like that, going back all the way. And if you threw in like the basketball shows and what have you, it goes a little further than that. I mean, it's a lot of counting, a lot of math. I needed an accountant for that kind of stuff. But we wanted to share some of our favorite memories and so forth like that. And we want to talk about some of our favorite games here, first of all. And the funny thing is that when we first started talking about it, it came up very, very quickly.
2013, Ithaca versus Montrose in a state semifinal, freezing cold at Midland High School. Ithaca, part of their run of 4 straight titles, 5 and 6 years. Montrose was outstanding that year, and the game came down to really a dropped interception, I believe. We're late in the game.
Yeah, and a missed kick.
A missed kick as well.
But at the same time, it had everything in it. It
Right.
really had everything in it. And to tell you the truth, the one thing that we remember most of all, not just the drop pass and the kick missing, it was how cold it was, because it really was one of those days where it just kind of went right through you. We also looked at the 2011 Flint Powers team that beat Lansing Catholic and Cooper Rushes as a big game, because that was a huge upset. Lansing had destroyed them in the regular season, and I told Bob Buckle when they won this state semifinal game in advance, and we knew they were taking on Lansing Catholic, that he'd win that game, because it's so hard to beat a good team twice, especially when they blow you out the first time. They just don't really kind of get up for you, and Powers certainly took advantage of it. It was fantastic.
I was on the field shooting that game, and it wasn't even close. Powers blew them out, and it just shocked really the entire state of Michigan, and that Powers team was absolutely incredible. And so was Saginaw Novell, back-to-back in 2006 and 2007. If you remember, Scott, 2007, they were 5-3 heading into the playoffs. No one really gave them a chance. But their defense just wouldn't let them lose. And actually, in their 5 playoff wins, the average margin of victory, 7 points.
That's what a program does for you. When you're used to winning, you don't forget about winning, and that's what Nouvelle did that year. Harbor Beach over Beale City, 2012 Division 8 game, a TV5 exclusive there between those two. Obviously great. Some great players as well. Go ahead and go through the list here a little bit.
Well, first for me is Mark Ingram. I saw him for Flint SWA taking on, I believe, Midland Dow in week 1, and the guy was running all over the field, had like maybe 370 rushing yards. It was incredible, or 270, but I was just like, this guy's going to be a superstar. And of course, he went on to have a very long NFL career.
And there's no question about maybe the biggest story that we covered happened to be the Ithaca streak of 69 games and, of course, all those championships in between. Anyway, that's going to do it here for Friday Night Lights. Our Pigskin preview show tomorrow and Friday. Full shows on TV5. But first, or at last, I should say, here are some of these sweet plays from last season.
Thanks for watching WNEM TV5. Watch us live wherever you are, our mobile, and on our streaming news app. You can also watch us on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.